Hi, everyone. This is Ed Amoroso. Welcome to Tag Talk. Today, I'm going to be covering a company that you've all heard of called Okta. It's a pretty big name in the area of identity and access management. In fact, over the last few years, I've sort of said that IAM, that identity and access management market, become kind of a two-horse race. Microsoft and Okta completely get that Ping, one login radius, a number of other companies have done quite well. But really, Okta and Microsoft have dominated. Now, a couple things on that. One is that I think most of the growth in the coming years in identity and access management is going to be around simplification, consolidation, sort of streamlining of identity as opposed to people buying new platforms. The one exception I think is in non-human. I think automation and AI will introduce fundamentally new requirements, probably where Okta and other companies will go. But way more important than that is that as I'm filming, it's been announced that Palo Alto Networks is kind of in talks. I don't know if it's been formally announced or if they're moving in the direction for kind of in talks to potentially acquire Okta. Now, I hadn't really intended to cover that. We've written a report which you can download on Okta, has all of our thoughts on the strengths, weaknesses, pros, cons, prospects for the company. So you want to download and read that. But I do want to say a couple things about the possibility of an acquisition here because I think it's interesting. It's a good exercise in doing the analysis on these types of things. Those of you who watch, the feedback I get is that you kind of enjoy when we kind of analyze different corporate moves, who's buying who, what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. So let's go through this one. First off, when you look at Okta and Palo, two powerhouses in the context of sort of a CISO budget, but on different ends of the spectrum. One sells drums, the other sells guitars. These are very different kinds of businesses. And in fact, Okta in many cases is selling to the IT team as opposed to the pure security play that you'd find with Palo. But let's go through a few of the considerations that would go through the minds of the boards of each company as they're making this decision. The first has to do with channel. There is clearly channel overlap. And in fact, it'd be 100% channel overlap. Both companies sell pretty much to everyone. So this, at least from an M&A perspective, becomes a really good opportunity for synergy. So what strikes fear into workers kind of like when they see this opportunity for two big companies to come together, it's terrifying for workers in marketing, sales, and a lot of the support areas, finance, because synergy means I have two of something and I only need one. So I think if you do see a merger here, it probably would be a very strong play towards synergy. So you'd be able to save a lot of money there. That's certainly number one. Number two is that in terms of sort of the addition of new customers for either, I don't see that happening. Like I don't see anybody moving to Okta because you're a Palo customer, or moving to Palo because you're an Okta customer. They seem very separated there. So I don't see the synergy there. Not really sure. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But if anything, I'd probably see some exit where some people might say, let's say Ping or others would be telling their potential prospects, hey, you don't want to be dealing with that big monster company. Come to us, we'll give you more personalized treatment. So if anything, I see that being an issue. But maybe the bigger thing is that I think for both Palo and Okta, they covet looking like a hyperscaler, let's face it. Palo is big enough now to kind of covet the market capitalization you see at places like Microsoft, Google, and other Cisco. These are companies that have big market caps. So does Palo, but I think Palo probably has its designs on being even bigger. So if they bring on Okta, you really start to get to the point where Palo becomes just this mega cybersecurity company. And for people who are attracted to that, they'd be a natural partner. And especially if you're trying to play a multi-cloud kind of architecture game between Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, then Palo would be a very natural sort of hyperscaler partner moving forward. So I think that's my view here. We'll watch to see what kind of announcements come out. But I think I'm probably more bullish than not on this kind of an acquisition. It makes good sense from a financial perspective, probably doesn't hurt or help the customer engagement, and it does move Palo a little closer to what I think is their ultimate target, and that's to look like a hyperscaler. So we'll watch, we'll keep an eye on this. In the meantime, make sure you read our report on Okta. It does not reference what I was just talking about, this potential acquisition, but does give our views on Okta, and it's a company that we think very highly of, obviously in IAM, particularly cloud. So I hope you'll download it, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And we always enjoy when you do this. So I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.